Okay, how's everybody doing? I am here with a live stream. It's not the most optimal signal that I can get, but it seems to be working so far. I'm here just in case that Johnny Miller is hanging around because he said he was available Monday night. I think today's Monday night, right? After work. So, yeah, I just want to give him a chance because in case he wanted to say something. Because we had a discussion the other day and James thought it was horrible and he deleted the whole thing, trying to get it back. I don't know. I forgot to check my Gmail, see if he sent it to me or sent me a link or something. I don't know. But anyway, um, yeah, we're in kind of a predicament, I guess, as far as that goes around the world. And if you have any questions about what's going on, I've been following it quite a bit, so I should be able to answer most of the questions that would come up about the pandemic that we're experiencing. In case anybody is interested, would like to discuss that, and or if Johnny Miller would like to join and continue the discussion, or maybe reiterate what he was trying to say before, or we'll see what's going on. Hello, Honesty Angel. How you doing? God bless everybody. Everybody needs to take care. I hope everybody's stocked up with food and ready for the lockdowns and stuff like that. And because we got to pull through this together, I guess. This community that we have, this great debate community. And of course, you got to be in good health. You got to get plenty of sleep. You got to get plenty of exercise, all that stuff. And of course, it would be good if you've been doing that all along. That would be of great benefit to you as far as surviving the pandemic. But yeah, this location is not optimal, and sometimes it causes problems whenever I have somebody join. But we could try to make it work. As long as I don't push too many buttons, it might be okay. So if anybody has any questions or about anything, we could. There's Donnie Miller. How you doing? Taking care of my kids. Won't be able to join for a few hours. No problem. I just wanted to be, make an effort, even though I'm having some bad weather over here. Well, so I'm not able to go to my optimal location yet because I don't have anything set up over there for the weather. So I'm trying to do it from here, and but that's okay as long as you're not able to. I don't know how long I'll be able to go. I should be able to go for a while. But if you wanted to make a point, maybe we could try to respond to that. And if somebody else has a point, you're cutting out, but I don't know if it's my internet or not. No, it's probably me. I'm pretty sure it's me. I know it probably sounds computerized and all that stuff, but it's the best signal I can get for right now. And it might even drop off. I might even have to try to get back in a couple of times if somebody else joins. But I could try to respond to some things, We were talking about DNA before, how it all goes back to Noah. All of history goes back to Noah. All of human history goes back to Noah. All of calendars go back to the time of Noah, or at least the time of Noah's birth, because all the calendars, ancient calendars, are almost all close to 5,000 years old. So that kind of seems to indicate they began with Noah's birthday. So that might be a possibility. And of course, either that or Usher's, what is it? Bishop Usher, who calculated the ages. Maybe he made a mistake, or maybe there was some more information that we need to know that'll take us to 5,000 years. But even so, we still only have a history going back 5,000 years, not 10,000, not a million, not 10 million, not 20 million, not 50 million, because 50 million years would have washed all of the sediment layers from Noah's flood into the oceans by now, at the current rate of erosion. So that totally destroys the idea of millions of years. And if the scientists would learn simple facts, they wouldn't be so confused. And if they had learned the Bible, if they had studied the Bible first, they would be a long ways as far as understanding science. They'd be a lot better off. They would be on the trail of understanding so much farther, because you would understand that all of history goes back to Noah. Everyone spread out from the Middle East, the cradle of civilization. The Egyptians began with Mitzrayim and his mother's, whose name was Egyptus, who was probably Ham's wife, and Mitzrayim is Noah's grandson. And he's probably the letter E, Y chromosome. The letters A and B are the sub-Saharan Africans, and the C and the D are missing from Africa because they didn't go to Africa. They never went to Africa. Their tree is such that it's not even connected to the rest, going way, way back, because they went the other way. They went all the way to Asia and farther. Johnny Miller says, I'm not a Christian. Why would I even acknowledge the Bible? It's not even consistent with itself. Well, that's what I'm trying to explain, is that the Bible is consistent historically, and that every historical finding confirms specific things that the Bible says. And I've said before that people have been able to find specific things by what the Bible says, whether it's cities, ancient cities. They actually study the Bible to find ancient cities, and they have found ancient cities by studying the Bible. They've found specific gates and passes described in the Bible. And it goes on and on and on. Archaeology has dug up, priest bells and articles, seals from Elijah, seals from the kings, different kings. And these are significant, very significant findings. They found an inscription saying the house of David. And of course, the secular teachers and professors have scoffed at the Bible, but they've always been proved wrong whenever they claim that so and so doesn't exist, or Moses didn't exist, or the battle of Jericho didn't happen. They've always been disproved. with the archaeological findings, historical findings that are very consistent. And of course, you can say the Bible contradicts itself, but more often than not, an apparent contradiction is an actual truth to understand. It's an actual thing to understand. And of course, you didn't write the Bible, so you didn't know what they were trying to say. So what we have to do is to try to find out and discover what it is they were actually trying to say, what they were saying, and how that fits the reality that we know. And of course, the Bible is all about reality. It's not about a baseless belief. It's not a baseless belief. It's based on reality. It's based on facts. It's based on truths. And the fact that we were created, the fact that the world was created. And if you don't understand first that the world was created and that we were created, you're not going to understand very much. So they've twisted that around and tried to say, locked down until August. Wow. Evolution have tried to twist that around, say you can't understand biology unless you understand evolution. On the contrary, you can't understand biology unless you understand you have a maker, unless there's a creator, because everything has specific written instructions to order it to be exactly what it is. Or it's, of course, it can adapt, it can respond to the environment, it can be warped, it can lose function for the sake of some kind of advantage, but it can't change what it is, what it was ordered to be, because it can't get written instruction that's not there. Hello, Jesus is Lord. Yeah, locked down until August. Yeah, I'm locked down. Well, I'm not locked down. I'm actually out in the woods, running around in the woods. So I have quite a bit of freedom here where I'm at. I just don't have a very good signal right now until I can work something out. What I have to do, I have to probably change my service because I have Sprint, and out here I think I need Verizon. So I might have to change my service to get a better signal, and that's going to take some doing because I just renewed my service with Sprint not too long ago. And I already have service with Verizon, so at my house, so it wouldn't be too hard to add a phone or something. It's just I gotta figure out how to work that out. Yeah, so we can maybe we can in the great debate community, maybe we can solve a lot of issues and learn a lot, because the atheists have a lot to learn. The secularists have a lot to learn. The naturalists, whatever you call them, have a lot to learn. And we're here. We got all the information. We got all the facts on our side, and we can tell them everything they need to know, and they can keep coming back and getting their confusion straightened out and explained. So it's not going to be that hard to deal with the issues that they have, because every claim they ever make is always disproved. There's no evidence of any evolution whatsoever. When people talk about the situation evolving, they're using the wrong word, because evolution doesn't exist. You got to say the situation is developing or it's progressing. Things have progressed, they develop, they don't evolve. There is no evolution. You don't get information that's not there. You don't get power that's not there. You don't get abilities that are not there. You can only utilize the resources that we've been given and the information that we've been given and the information that we have. In science, you can't get energy that's not there. All energy comes from a greater source of energy, which ultimately comes from God. That God is the source of all power and energy. And of course, this has been a scientific fact for, we've known this for like at least 100 years. And whenever I studied the law of thermodynamics the first time, I was amazed at the courage of the person who said that energy goes from order to disorder. It can't order itself. To me, I was a young kid at the time, and to me that was just absolute proof of God. And I find it hard to understand how somebody can't see that that's not proof of God. I thought the guy was courageous for making a statement like that. And I thought everybody all confuse him of trying to be religious or something. But it's science, it's fact, it's truth, it's reality. And there is no other truth or reality. So, but anyways, I don't know if anybody wants to join. If nobody wants to join, maybe I'll come back in a little while because Johnny Miller said he might be able to join after he puts his kids to bed or something like that. So maybe I'll just come back later and see what happens. If we can have more explanations on the Y chromosome, the extinction of the Neanderthal Y chromosome, and that is the Y chromosome is not the same thing as autosomal DNA, which people do have from Neanderthals by way of the wife of Japheth. All Europeans, and Europeans are largely Japhethites, and in Western Europe, there's a mixture. They have a mixture of Semites with the along with the Gypsies and the Dravidians and such. And in the East, they have a mixture of Hamites. Actually, they actually have a mixture of Hamites and Y chromosome from the D and the C. So they actually have some Hamite features too. As a matter of fact, many of the Asian Pacific Islanders and such sometimes have, African features, and especially when you talk about the Aborigines from Australia, they have some African features or similarities. So it all bears out to be true, and I just lost some power. I gotta find some more power. So maybe I'll come back later because I don't have all the power in the world, but I do have some power. And then I gotta charge it back up with some solar power or something. But anyway, this is another story. But anyway, I hope everybody takes care. Enjoy the lockdown, and do whatever you gotta do to help people and help yourself. God bless everybody. Oh, God bless.